Right, I'm by a really dinky, lovely little steam engine here with a tall funnel. It's all maroon and gleaming brass, and I believe I may be speaking to the owner here. May I ask your name, sir?
My name's Bob Barwick. I come from Sandwich, or very near Sandwich. This engine I've had since last autumn, 2009. I've been rallying small steam engines now since 2003. So we have quite a lot of fun. It's quite a social aspect of the whole setup in the evenings when we all get round a fire and have a little bevy and enjoy each other's company.
Sounds absolutely tremendous. I see you've got this rigged up. It's got a little trailer at the back with seats, so a sort of bench seat, so kids can go on that. My son is very much looking forward to having a ride on that in a moment. And yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, that's all a part of the picture that we try and interest youngsters in all aspects of steam. And one thing with the small miniatures, you can open the fire door and show them the fire. So we're not with the big large ones, which is a bit difficult, because with driving wheels 7 or 8 foot high, obviously the fire is much out of sight. But with these, you can keep them informed.
Yeah. My son is fascinated by the fireboxes. We often go Romney Hyde and Dymchurch Railway and speaking in the little fireboxes. But this is such a beautiful engine. If you could tell me something about it, because the sort of history of it, the age of it, and so on.
Well, it was built by an enthusiast in 1992-3, and I think he retired and he sold it on. I'm the third owner. I've owned this since last autumn, and it's scaled off a fairly large Burrell engine, and it's 4.5 to full size. So,
can I ask you, is this a sort of one-off? Have they sort of taken it from a model of an original working steam engine way back in Victorian or Edwardian times?
Yes. I mean, they are scaled off original engines, and these are authentic to every respect, but all miniaturised down to the scale, and they are produced by a firm called the plans are produced by a firm called Plasto, and it's done to their designs, but all the actual workings and all the scale aspect of it is purely authentic and would relate to a full-size engine.
Yeah, incredible, because looking at it, the mind boggles, because you can't believe that this is not something Victorian or Edwardian. It looks so much of that era. And oh God, just got the most marvellous whiff of steam and coal there, which, if you're a bit of an addict, that sort of thing, it's nectar, that is. But also I noticed, you were busily topping up with water, and it must need continual maintenance when the engine's live.
Well, yes, it's the sort of thing you've got to keep your eye on the water level, and of course the fire you need to keep made up, otherwise you lose steam pressure. It is gently blowing off on the steam on the safety valves at the moment, which is quite normal, and it's something that you have to look at 3 aspects all at one time. Actually, if you're running it, you've got to steer it, you've got to maintain the fire and the water level.
Wonderful. Well, thanks very much. We've covered a lot of aspects of this really lovely little engine. I'm sure kids will be so delighted by it to look at, and of course quite a few other examples of miniature steam engines here too, and a big one looking over there. And as I say, my son will be delighted to have a ride in this, and thank you very much for your time.
Okay, well that's fine. I enjoyed talking to you.
Pleasure. Bye bye.
Cool thing, really.
Lovely. Well, I know my son's looking forward to his ride, and you'll be off fairly soon. Thanks very much indeed.
Okay, thank you very much.
There's a very colourful farm cart here with 2 benches on it for children to ride on, and the whole is drawn by a couple of what look like lovely Shire horses. So I'm going to speak to the driver, if that's the right word, and ask him about them. Yes, are they Shire horses?
They're heavy horses. The one on the side nearest you is an Ardennes, which is a French-Belgian breed, and the opposite side is a Clydesdale, which is a Scottish equivalent to a Shire.
Oh, and I forgot to ask you your name, sir.
My name's Ray Dawkins.
And are these working farm horses? Are you from a farm, or do you just go around the steam fairs with these?
We don't actually work full time. They're kept busy most weekends throughout the year. We do a lot of this, doing the rides I think this is pretty much one of the last of the rides, and then we'll go on to agricultural work demonstrations, and later on in the year ploughing matches. We always take part in the All England ploughing match and the national.
Well, I think it's lovely. It's very rarely that kids will have an opportunity to have a ride on a cart drawn by such lovely horses as these, I must say. And they look in beautiful condition. They take a lot of grooming as well.
They're not too bad. It's pretty much like when you're polishing a car sort of thing. If you keep on top of it, it's not too bad, but you know, if you let it go, then you've got a bit of work getting it back to good condition again.
And they've got such lovely temperaments, haven't they? They're here completely quiet, stock still, just sort of leaning towards each other. Such lovely beasts, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the nature of the breed as such, or the breeds. Heavy horses, people say gentle giants. Well, they do have their moments, but they are working horses, and they obviously know their job, and standing still at times is part of the job.
Of course, back in Victorian times, before the advent of steam-powered agricultural machinery and so on, these were the main workhorses, workforces for agriculture. But now, there's very few of them left. They're fairly endangered, even, aren't they?
Some of the heavy horse breeds, particularly the Suffolk Punch, which is obviously an English breed of heavy horse, is actually on the endangered list. There are more pandas than there are Suffolk Punches, so they are getting few and far between, yeah.
That is a tragedy when you consider what lovely animals they are and what history they've had in this country. Though I believe that, I mean, there are associations both in this country and even in, say,